I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money.
Nothing here, just said. A good example of this would be the mic distance. The trolls and Review Tech USA criticized the distance. To be fair, your mic setup now with it closer to your voice sounds way better. It was valid. And here's the truth. I always knew that. I knew that this microphone was meant to be truthful. I'm not close enough. To be truthful, here's how it's supposed to work. You ready for this? Okay. This is how this microphone is supposed to work. I'm like not even an inch away from it. This is actually how this style of mic is intended to work, that you literally have it like touching your lips. This is the ideal level that it's supposed to sound. You're supposed to be this close to the microphone at all times, okay? But my old setup, I couldn't do that. My old setup, because of the way that I had everything here, you know, I didn't have a good monitor here that I could move around on a monitor arm and adjustability, and my desks was completely bootleg, okay? I didn't have that flexibility. So why are you going to harass the guy? Say, you're using your mic wrong. Okay, well, I don't have the setup to use it right. So why are you bothering me? Doesn't my content at least sound passable? Because it did. My content didn't sound terrible or anything. Yeah, it could have been better for sure, but it wasn't awful. So why are you criticizing, and why are you're ragging on a guy who's getting by the best he can with the setup the best he can do, right? But that's it. These people are dickheads. They want to absolutely analyze and hyper focus on something because they just want to say it's bad, not because they want it to improve or because they feel like their criticism would improve something. They don't care about that. They just want to make fun of you. Do you really think Review Tech brought that up because he was like, I want you to fix your mic? It's like, no, I just want to do it because I want to say I'm better than Phil and I do it right and he doesn't. Not that he wanted me to fix it. He just wanted to point out that I wasn't doing something perfectly that he felt is better. Now, keep in mind, that's probably the only thing in history he's ever done better than me. Everything else he's done is a fucking train wreck. He's a horrible person and a horrible creator, you know, but that's the one thing, so that's what I'll bring up, right? But fair point. I agree. If I can improve things, I will. I want to know things that I can improve in my setup. You know what I'm saying? I love to know things that I can improve in my setup. And, you know, that's if there's a valid thing I can do, I'll do it. But that's a fair point that people would criticize. And I'd be like, well, I can't really know if this is true or not. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Here we go again. Someone did $2.89 tip, and this is a troll thing. He goes, what exactly is jiggling your jowls? Can you show me? Well, you could, maybe one day you can get your own jowls. And if you do, okay, then you could jiggle them yourself and figure it out. But just so you know, jowl jiggling is a very personal thing that's not meant to be shared with the public. So there you go. Dave Snortnoy did a $2 tip. He says, hair loss is a sign of high testosterone. That proves you're not a lesbian. There you go. You guys are just very bizarre. But you think this stuff doesn't, I don't care. Like, this stuff doesn't bother me. You're just weird. And the stuff that you choose to say. Hey, what are you talking about? Okay. Listen to this. Someone, I'd say a $2 tip and says, do you consider your streams volunteering because you give your time and effort to make people happy? No, my streams are not volunteering. My streams are my job. This very much is my form of employment. I provide a service and provide content, and people reciprocate with contributions. I also monetize said content with advertisements. So no, this is not, the only way that this could be considered like volunteering would be if I did it absolutely, positively, completely free, no monetization whatsoever. Then you could say, okay, that person's donating their time to entertain an audience for free. That's it. But anytime that there's any kind of monetary compensation that's involved with it, whether it's crowdfunding from an audience, whether it's monetization with advertisements, paid subscriptions, any kind of a model like that, That's for-profit business. That is not any kind of volunteering whatsoever. No. Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. Someone said something in Kick Chat. I'll address it, and then I want to get to the Obsidian story. Okay. So they said the following. It would be nice if they wouldn't spam the chat, but they're spamming like an idiot. So I'll address it. Please address this. Why don't you play as the top-tier characters in Street Fighter 6 so you'd show how easy and brainless they are? Okay. What have I always said about Street Fighter 6 and its top tiers? I've always said that the top tiers of the game... Now, by the way, for the record, I don't even know who the current top tiers are because I didn't play it for a year, and then I came back to it. So very much the characters that I'm considering top tiers may not even be anymore. Maybe they rebalanced the game and I'm just not aware of it, right? But from when I was playing it regularly, who were the top tiers? Cammy, Jury, DJ, Ken, I would say. What was Akuma? I guess Akuma was at one point, but I don't think it's as bad with Akuma. So essentially, if you think about the characters that were considered top tiers, they all played exactly the same. Endless rushdown, endless pressure to the corner. Everything is insanely safe for no reason. Like, there's no justification that those characters have so many safe moves. They just do. While other characters don't have a ton of safe moves, those characters had an entire repertoire, an entire encyclopedia of safe moves that they could just throw out at any moment. And as long as they didn't do it from the wrong distance, they were completely safe in doing it. And then they had frame advantage after and could follow up with more pressure and constantly pushing you to the corner. I mean, to be honest, Cammy, Jury, and Ken at one point, unless they got burned out because they used all their meter, literally would have advantage on almost every character in the game almost all the time. That's not fair. That's busted. So you might say, well, why don't you play those characters then? I don't like them. That, to me, that's not fun. To pick a character that has such a natural advantage and that's the reason you won is not satisfying to me in any way, shape, or form. Okay? It's just not. Like, for example, in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, okay? Vega, one of the best characters in the game, okay? One of the reasons he's considered one of the best characters in the game is because if you play certain versions of the game, okay, you can knock an enemy down, do his wall dive, and there's a situation you can set it up where it's called a fuzzy block. He does his wall dive from a certain distance and speed that you have no idea what side it's going to hit you on, and he can just randomly hit you and down you, and then do it again, and then down you, and then do it again, and then down you, and he wins the whole round. And it's just a guess. You're guessing 50-50 what side he's going to hit you on. There's not even a way to know. It's just a prediction. It's 100% an incredibly valid strategy with Vega in Super Turbo. Pros use it. I don't. I never have. I refuse to use it because it's not fair. It's actually a way to abuse the game and busted thing about the game to win games and actually win tournaments. People have won tournaments doing this. And it's like, you didn't even earn it. All you did was you did a fuzzy guess and you win because you're doing it. Literally, the entire top tier of Street Fighter 6 is fuzzy guessing. A character that has so many natural advantages, just guess and be safe with them so you get the opponent to the corner. Now guess more with throwing and neutral jumps, and you just win. There's no strategy to it. There's no intelligence to it. It's just literally playing a brainless pattern like the fuzzy wall jump in Super Turbo. It's not satisfying whatsoever. I hate it. If I win like that, I actually feel terrible about winning, and it actually hurts me. Like, I'm like, fuck. I didn't earn that. I didn't beat that person. I didn't outplay them. I just used a cheesy pattern to win. And that's not the way to do it, in my opinion. Other people can disagree. And they're welcome to pick top tiers in Street Fighter 6. And they're welcome to do the fuzzy wall dive in Super Turbo with Vega. That's part of the game. People got to deal with it. Now, I don't have to like it, but I do have to accept it. Street Fighter 6 is a game that's imperfect and very frustrating because it has this level of gameplay. And either I accept it or I don't. If I don't, well, you know, then stop playing the game. Well, I did for a year. I did. I got so frustrated with it, I just didn't want to play the game anymore. You see? Now I'm coming back to it, and we're getting to the point where I'm at Masters again, and we're going to start seeing it nonstop again. And that's the game. So, you know, I'll just have to adopt it. Now, here's the thing. I may have to accept it, and I may have to understand it, but I don't have to like it, and I don't have to do it myself. I don't. I don't have to play that way. If I get no satisfaction whatsoever out of it, you know, I don't want to sit here, learn Cammy's pattern, do it ad nauseum, and turbo myself to master and turbo myself through I don't care. There's no feeling of accomplishment. There's no feeling of enjoyment there for me. It would be just like I wasted my time. That was empty. It meant nothing, meaningless, you know? Let me put it this way. If you bust your ass in life and you earn yourself $1 million after painstaking toil, effort, and you earn it, versus someone walks up and says, hi, here's $1 million, enjoy, and walks away, and you're like, I got $1 million, right? It's still $1 million in either situation. It's the same money. It spends the same way. You get the same end result from having it, but it feels different if you've earned it versus if someone just hands it to you. It does. Because you've got it the hard way, you appreciate it more, you're probably going to treat it with more respect because you realize how hard it is to get it and you may never get it again. That's a lot different than someone just handing you something. If you play Street Fighter 6 with this top tier garbage, you're literally being handed the opportunity to get wins and rank up, and you didn't earn it. You just picked that character on the select screen and coasted versus someone who actually did it the hard way. Tough, determination, winning in disadvantageous positions. That's more meaningful and more of an accomplishment. Me picking Lily and turboing in one afternoon up to master is way more meaningful than me picking Cammy or Jury and doing it. It just is. That's how it is. And, you know, that's how I've always approached fighting games. So now you can disagree, and that's okay. You can play those characters, but I don't have to. That's my prerogative to choose what enjoyment I get out of a game and to play the characters that I do. To be honest, if all I did was top tier whore in Street Fighter 6 and just got master wins all the time, it would be just the same level of people saying, oh, you see, he didn't earn anything. He earned absolutely nothing because he just picked the top tiers to do it. He's not good at Street Fighter 6. It's the character that won, not him. So now I win with Lily, and what do they say? See what I mean? I'm not here to appease anyone. I'm not. I'm here to just, you know, to do what I want to do with my own content and to have fun. I'm not trying to say I'm great at Street Fighter 6. I know I'm not. I've never even played the game offline. How could I say I'm good at it? But still, I'm going to play it in a way that I enjoy it, you know? Okay. Huh? Someone tipped $2 and said, did you spam the same moves over and over and use a flowchart to get a #1 ranking in the US back in the FGC days, or am I wrong? I thought that's what June said in his documentary. If June said that in his documentary, he has absolutely no understanding whatsoever of competitive fighting games and what I did back in the day. He's just regurgitating detractor memes. I don't know if he said that in the documentary or not. I don't remember. No. In fact, the characters that I used Vega, who was top tier, but I never did the wall dive abuse. I used Balrog, but I never used the throw loop that was considered his top tier abuse. And the other character I was good with was DJ, who's a mid-tier character and not abusable at all. So there you have it. See, this I would believe. Cammy, Jury, and Ken are not top tier anymore on the pro tier list. JP and Mai are generally considered the best characters in the game now. Other top tiers are now Ed, Ryu, and Blanca. I would definitely believe Ryu. He seems like he's been dramatically improved. His normals now just seem way better. I don't know if they're faster or if they extended the hitboxes or whatever, but they just seem like they reach a lot more. And like his low medium kick stuffs almost everything. People are doing drive rush, standing fierce punch, and it stuffs like everything. Like, what on earth? It stuffs everything. What is going on? Vivian, of course, spouting nonsense. You got 4th place in a tournament that was boycotted by the majority of the FGC because it was a broken port of Super Turbo. Then why was John Choi in the tournament? Then why was Mike Watson in the tournament? Why was Jason Cole in the tournament? Should I keep going? Why was Jason Wilson in the tournament? Why was Bob Painter in the tournament? Why were all the Japanese players in the tournament? The only person that boycotted it was Alex Valle. One person, one pro had to stink about it. Everyone else entered and played. You're factually wrong what you're saying. But again, make up your narrative 20 to 25 years later because there's no one that can prove anything, right? You've invented a store of fantasy land up. Shout out to Bardikit for 100 kicks. Thank you, Bardikit, for 100 kicks today. That's our first kicks of the day. And thank you to Baby Wawa, who just became a sub.